So I guess it's me and Tyler that are doing the negotiations here, right? Tyler, you're the leader for the other team.
Yes.
Okay. So we feel that we have deserved a raise after 5 years of a complete wage freeze. We feel that we really deserve um, $11 an hour from you guys.
Okay. And what makes you feel that way?
Well, like I said, the wages have been the same for the last 5 years. Um, for everybody, they they should be increasing at least for some people that have been staying with the company for a while. For another thing, you guys are making profit. We're making profit right now as a company. We really feel like the reason for that is, it's always been based off of the good relationship that the workers have had with management, and it's always been based off of the work that we as workers have been doing. We really
Yeah.
feel like we're one of the most valuable parts of this company, and we're not being appreciated with this low wage. It's not even keeping up with living standards. And then on top of that, you guys are bringing in hundreds of new employees every year. Um, we feel like that's kind of backwards, and it's backwards to the spirit of how things have been running around here since the company began. And we,
Yeah.
we really feel like we should come first before all of that. And like I said, you've been making profit when the industry's been failing, and we feel like that's been because of us, and we want to be rewarded for the wage increase that we deserve.
Well, thanks, Brandon. I appreciate hearing that from you, and we want you guys to know that how much we value what you do. Like you say, your work is unprecedented, and we've had great relations over these last 50 years, and something that Baxter really appreciates and wants to continue. Um, Part of the reason we've been profitable, like you say, is because of the smart strategic decisions that we've made. If you remember, just a few months ago, one of our biggest competitors, if not our biggest competitor, filed for bankruptcy and is now out of business. And luckily that didn't happen to us, or we've been a lot worse situation. I want you to consider, as we renegotiate this wage, that three of our five competitor firms are paying significantly less than what you are earning right now to their employees, some as low as $7 an hour. And so that we feel that the level that we're at right now is extremely significant and substantial for both ends, and we're not quite ready to do a pay raise to $11 an hour.
Hmm. Well, we understand that everybody else is failing, but we feel that that's irrelevant to our cause here. What our company has been able to accomplish has been because of the work that we've been doing. We've been efficient. We've been finding ways to make it work. We've been the leaders in our industry ever since the beginning, and what's been consistent since then is the relationship the management has had with the workers, and the amount of appreciation that the workers have enjoyed for years.
And
Um,
and I agree with you. But what you're missing is that as we raise your wages, we lose the profitability that we already have because now we have to price our product cheaper in the marketplace. So we'll be essentially just like every other firm as soon as we reduce our wages
but what I'm seeing is that
or
these other
increase our
firms that
wages.
are
I said it
failing,
wrong.
they're paying their workers less, um, and they're the ones that are failing. The ones that are failing, that aren't rewarding their workers, are the ones that aren't able to keep up. And that's how it's always been for Baxter. What we're saying is that um, the correlation between the wage rate and the profitability of the company increases. It's a positive correlation, so that when the wages increase, workers work harder. They feel better about what they're doing. They're more rewarded, and profits increase. as you can see with our competitors, as they've decreased wages, profitability has decreased and they've had to go out of business. And so we feel like it's not only the logical thing to do here, but that it's the right thing to do.
Okay. And considering the Me Too clause that is in our contract currently, um, we both agreed that we would average our top three highest paying competitors' prices. And at a negotiation like that, we're looking at less than you're making currently. But that is in our Me Too clause, which is a contract that we have. What do you have to say about that?
Well, in the clause, it said that if the wages of the other companies within our industry or if they risen, I don't know, if they increased, then our wages would increase also. It didn't have any clause in there about a reverse effect. And you and I both know that that would be unfair and that would be going against your word, regardless of what it looks like now. That was put into effect to protect the workers, to make sure that their hard work didn't start being uh, less and less appreciated.
It was, you're right, and we had no idea at that time the changes that we'd faced in these last 5 years. The food industry, the processed food industry is failing. Like I said, competitors are going out of business. Tastes have changed for Americans. They're buying different products, healthier products, and so these wages, according to our clause, it just I'm reading it. It states if there's a change in prices in three of our five competitors. It doesn't say a raise or a lower price that we would negotiate. You have the ability to choose the top three competitor firms and average those out. So in no way is this a slant trying to hurt you. In fact, it was here to protect you, but this is the way the market has turned, and so we're really faced with a really tough decision right there.
And also, where we're coming from, what we see on our end of the spectrum that you guys don't see is we're in the plant every day with all the other workers, and we know how it will affect them if, dropping the wages out of the question, which is what that clause would suggest, is that we lower the wage to what the other companies are doing. Um, we both know that there would be revolt, there would be strike and lockout if that were to happen. Now, all we're asking for is just a few cents per hour raise, just to show appreciation. Now, what we're bringing to the table is $11 per hour, which is only 31-cent raise per hour for these workers. And we want to know how you guys, what your reaction on that. We want to make sure that we get this for our workers. We feel that we deserve it. We feel that this wage raise would be a fair trade-off for all the new hires that you're making, and for the profitability that the company's been enjoying for the past 5 years.
Before we would even consider a raise wage, when it should be a significantly lower, according to our clause, we would need to have complete control over hiring and management and training positions. Is that something that you guys would be willing to negotiate with us?
Maybe some of that, but definitely not all of it. You guys already took away a lot of our autonomy when you built the new plant. You used a scare tactic on us, on the people in the town that built this company, that's made it what it is. We didn't like that in the first place, and we don't really feel like we need to take any more of that. And so we might be willing to give up a little bit, but certainly we want one of the only changes to be made is a raise in our wage, because we feel like that would reflect the share of profits that we've earned and deserved. So
Okay, so back to that. Oh, that's me. Sorry. You say you'd be willing to give up some of that. What would you be willing to give up?
um, what were the things you said again?
Specifically, what we would want is complete control over hiring and firing. With
Well,
that negotiation, we could work out an $11 wage. Without that, it's virtually impossible on our end.
Okay, we'll give you some of that power, but we still want some of our guys involved in this process. We won't give it up completely because that would leave us at the mercy of um, an organization of people who clearly um, haven't valued our work as much as we feel that it should have been valued.
Yeah, at our mercy. But if you're as vital as you say you are to our company, then that should be something you should willingly give up. Uh, you know,
Well, we
there's temporary
would,
workers.
we
We could
just feel
find
like we
ways
are.
around not having you. Are you really that vital to our? That's my real question.
Well, that's what we're trying to prove here. We feel like that we're trying to get that point across, and that it hasn't been recognized. We've been trying to fight for this, trying to show that we're the reason for the profitability, and that we deserve more share of the profits. And we don't know what else to do other than to come to you and ask for more appreciation. I mean, the numbers show it. We have the highest wages in the industry that we know of, and we are the only ones that are profiting. So we feel there's a direct correlation that shows and proves our worth. We're just asking for it to be recognized. What we can do is we can give up part of that autonomy, part of the hiring and firing power. Like I said, we still want to be involved in it, but we will let you guys have more say in that. But we ask for at least a wage of 10.90 per hour.
So 10.90 per hour. So a 21-cent raise as opposed to a 31-cent raise.
Right.
And we maintain the majority votes or whatever on our hiring and our management policy, but you are involved in each of those conversations.
Correct.
Okay, that seems fair to me.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
I'm just done arguing this whole thing, so yeah, great, 10.90.
I'm sure everybody else is done listening too. Okay.
What happened to $9?
Yeah, come on.
I was thinking, I know, but like that just
Come on,
sucks,
Zach.
man.
You're
Who
going
works for
soft.
$9 an hour? That's nothing.
Brandon's too hardcore. We couldn't do it.
They are in what is it, Western Illinois or like Iowa or something.
Or Sri Lanka or Asia or.
Well, yeah, and this is all in 1983. Yeah, they were maybe, but
Yeah.
Well, I think that you guys did a good job, but I think a point to notice too is that I don't think that the union sees how much management cares about the town. I mean, we chose to build the new factory there when it would have been way more profitable to take it somewhere else.
Right.
I think that that's a big part of it, is that maybe we weren't getting across how much we care about you guys, but I mean, 1 in 4 of your paychecks come from our company, 1 in 4 employees, but at the same time, we have to think about what's good for everybody.
Yeah.
And keep you guys
As a
with
side
jobs.
note, also just so you guys know, if I was completely objective and could take whichever side I want, I would definitely go with the management side because I don't like unions, but
yeah, I agree with that.
When there was autonomy, that's when Alcoa got the best work done and they made the most profit.
Well, I think.
Shooting yourself in the foot if you're taking some of that away.
Well, I think
Well,
there
I
was.
think go ahead, Stephanie.
No, I was just going to say, I think there was a time and a place for unions. I mean, I grew up in a union family. My dad worked for Kennecott Copper, and I remember my dad having to go on strike for 2 years and us working without a job and having a hard time understanding that. But I think, labor laws and the way things were managed and handled in the time of unions where they were so, in this time period, I mean, I'm looking at my life in retrospect, growing up in this. But those aren't the same situation. There's so many laws and things that are protecting the employees now that I don't think that they are as a need as they were possibly back then.
yeah, I shouldn't have said that so harshly. I mean, I don't.
No, it's okay.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like a lot of times, especially like in a case like this, that the unions kind of act like bullies.
Oh yeah,
You know, like,
nowadays I told my husband works for the county for the sheriff's office, and they try to unionize, and he's like, they get mad at him because he won't unionize, and I don't feel like there's a need for them anymore.
yeah, I agree. But let's move on to what's next.
So everybody got the agreed upon amount was $10.90.
Yeah.
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 To write down, or just make sure everybody knows what it is.
Okay.
So we're supposed to go to the next, the 1985 negotiations and read those.
Do we stop the recording here with this one?
I suppose so.
Wait, what do you